Welcome into the Gramlich and McLean podcast presented by Ingles, the official supermarket of Gramlich and McLean. Mac and I'm going to be honest, Mac, we both thought we'd be doing a reaction episode here to Miami winning. We both picked Miami. You had probably more confidence than me. I'm not sure we thought it would be that dominant. Of course, Ohio State comes back. They make it somewhat of a game, and then Miami goes on that crazy drive and just seals it. But the trenches were pretty dominant, Mac. Let's just start. You were there. Jerry World is literally still behind you, which is kind of really cool in this shot. What was it like to watch the Canes do this?
Yeah, it was so unbelievable, KG, because everything you said, I was confident. Obviously, you watch it on tape, you see kind of who they've played, you look at the strengths, you look at the weaknesses. Ohio State, very good, no question. Seeing those guys in person was amazing. Huge, fast, physical, flying around. Very, very good team. Also pretty young team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They were exceptional just to see that. And, from a Miami standpoint, I was really confident in the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that there were things that they could exploit. I thought that there was things that they would be able to show Ohio State that they hadn't seen all year. And maybe they only saw against Indiana. And they did that, and they did it actually better than I expected.
Yeah.
Them to be able to do. And I think they had 5 sacks. They should have had 10. I mean, they hit Julian Sands so many times. Part of that was like just missing and flying up the field too fast. The other part was him making kind of good plays and getting out of the way there. The fans were electric. This place, I mean, I don't know if you have been here for George Strait, so you've seen it. It looks like it was built yesterday.
Yes.
It was built in 08 or 09, and the technology, the magnitude of it, it is a beautiful facility. And to host Ohio State in Miami, that's the only venue that can do that. Maybe the Rose Bowl, but this was insane just to see those two teams in this place. The fans were great. It was very loud to start the game, one-sided with the Hurricanes, which we were on their side.
Interesting.
Very loud there. I think it was close to 50-50 split. And then when here come the Buckeyes, in the second half, it was loud the whole game, or the whole second half. It was brilliant. It was so amazing. So that's kind of big picture. I know we're going to dive into a bunch of different things, but it was so fun. And I'll say one more thing. I didn't say this, anywhere else yet, but I got to go in the locker room. Mario was like, "Come in here. Let's come celebrate, see it all." Talking to Carson after the game, talking to Maui Noah and Marty Brown, Mark Fletcher, all the coaches, Shannon Dawson, Coach Heatherman. I mean, it is, you know how it is. It's different for us because we are so intimate with this conference and with these teams. I'm not saying I'm getting any rings or hats, but it's cool to be a part of it. And it's cool to see that moment from a different perspective and lens, not just sitting on a desk interviewing somebody, but to see that up close in person. It's just fun. It's really cool for me.
That's awesome, Mac. And really, Mario Cristobal it just speaks to, he's just a great dude. And I know you've covered them so closely, and you guys have your O-line bond, obviously. Okay. Tell me what more you want to tell me about the locker room. Like, were these guys, they're celebrating, obviously, but it felt like they expected to win too. Like, what was the vibe?
Yeah, no, they were excited, because I do think, I mean, that's like a national championship caliber game. A lot of people, I believe, thought that to be the pseudo national champion. Like, it's going to come out of that game. Now, I kind of think it might come out of the next one, too, especially if that's against Georgia.
Sure.
But they were having a good time. They were excited. They were jacked up. But I will say the last words that were kind of mentioned was, "We've got more to do." Like, this isn't the last game. And so celebrate, have fun, but we're rolling. And we have things to accomplish, which I just love the mindset, and everybody has that, and they get it. And now dancing and celebrating and on Instagram Live and FaceTime and friends, all of that was happening. But you did feel the job's not done, Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality, just from that team. And I think that's important because it's, it wasn't the Super Bowl. It wasn't a national championship. It was just the next game on the schedule. And there's 2 more games that you're hoping will be on your schedule as well.
Yeah, and one in Arizona, and then if you win, one in
It's a
your
little
home
home
state,
game.
which is crazy
It's
to think
unbelievable.
about. Okay, let's get into the game. I wanna start because you always give us such good, interesting content from watching warm-ups. So you're out
Yes.
there, you're taking it all in, you're obviously doing TV, so I don't know how much of warm-ups you got to see, but you were looking at Ruben Bain. Also, you talk about, like, the caliber of athlete for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, what was your feel there?
Well, so seeing obviously we've seen Miami a million times, and not that it's any less impressive every time you see them, but that was the first time I've seen Ohio State in person, and that they were everything that you've heard. I mean, they are so big, so fast, just a really good looking team. And those jerseys, like that uniform, it's just so iconic. I mean,
It
I
is.
grew up in Ohio. You know, I have an Ohio phone number, and not that I ever cheered for those boys, but
No,
it
Mac, you were a
around.
Notre Dame fan. We've seen the pictures.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was brainwashed into that. It's actually like child abuse at the end of the day. I had no control over that. But you know, I grew up seeing that. I've watched AJ Hawk in high school. Like I saw him
Mhm.
play when I was in Pee Wee, Pee Wee football, and seeing these guys. So that was a pretty cool moment. You know, obviously I've played against them. And never lost, by the way. But just being boots on the ground from this side of it, as a media member, and seeing that it was really cool. And this matchup, like the
Mhm.
fact that this game back in '03 reset Miami
Yep,
negatively, reset Ohio State positively. And I don't quite think that'll be the case here in regards to two programs going different ways,
sure.
but I do think Miami is strapped to a rocket ship ascending as quickly as you can, and this will bolster that. This will really, kind of help that. So seeing those guys up close and personal in pregame, you're just like, whoa, here we go. This is going to be the war that I think it's going to be. Really impressed with their linebackers. I mean, size, speed, athleticism. Caleb Downs, Ruben Bay and Caven Down, two best players in America. I mean, they are
Oof.
so good, so freaky, so fast. And, just again, seeing the mindset. And this game, I was a little bit more focused on Carson, just looking at him,
Mm.
seeing how he was going to bounce back. And he was just dialed. He's just locked in, and he had a great game, an exceptional game. I thought he played so well, KG, getting the ball out quick. Listen, when that dude has a grasp of the defense and what they want to do, he can make decisions so fast and get that ball out. Great placement. I thought his receivers did exceptional of getting separation,
Mhm.
getting to where they need to be. I have College Game Day on in the background right now as we're watching this, and Mario Cristobal is in a suit. There's no way he's all the way back in Miami. I guess this is from the team hotel. They haven't left yet. This is crazy.
Also, when does Mario wear a suit? That's
He
pretty
hey,
rare, right?
he booted. Hey, gotta go. Gotta go. He looks
What
great. But just seeing Carson it was really fun. I thought he had a great game.
And we talked about this. Let's start with the quarterbacks there, Mac, with Sayan and Carson. We talked about this, the difference in experience. Carson Beck, I think this was his, 15th win over a ranked team in his career, which is the second most wins in recent memory. Jalen Hurts, I think, had
We
17.
can tie Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen has
Yeah,
17. We
he
can
could.
tie him. How crazy.
And Sayin, with how talented he is, he's had some the Indiana game, made some mistakes, and he's just so young. So
Mhm.
was that gonna show up? And it did. I mean,
Right.
Carson Beck, the numbers don't wow you necessarily, but he managed the game and we mean that in the best way,
Yes.
really well. He used his legs when he needed to.
Oh,
He
man.
had the 13 straight completions, which was crazy. And then, of course, Sayin made the mistakes. I mean, the pick six changed everything. Keontae Scott, I just think back to when we had D Money on and Danny Enriquez, and we were talking about how important Keontae Scott was gonna be. Is he gonna
Mhm.
play? I mean, if Keontae Scott had not come back and played in these last 2 games, I don't think we're sitting here talking about this, Mac.
No, no. I mean, he is such a game changer. So I will start with the quarterbacks. 'Cause I
Yeah,
think that's important.
quarterbacks.
Don't let me not get to Keontae at some
Got it,
point
got
during
it.
this conversation. And the defense in whole. But yeah, it was really, really something that I was paying attention to. And that's why I wanted to look at Carson. And it's so funny to me, KG, that people want to be so critical and don't want to trust Carson and want to do this and that when really that is like 5 to 10% of his career is
Mm,
bad. There's another 90-95 that is elite. That is like arguably best quarterback in the country when he's playing at his best type of conversation. I mean, coming off his first year starting at Georgia, he was deemed the number one pick. Like he
Yeah.
was going to be the guy. And then Georgia lost everything, had no run game, had receivers dropping the ball more than anybody in America, had a average defense comparatively for what Georgia expects. And he had to be Superman. And guess what? Not everybody can be Superman. Being Superman's hard. He is so good at when he can manage and win the game, and that's what he can do here.
Mhm.
He is so much talent around him. He understands, don't mess this up. Don't
Right.
give the ball away. Protect the ball, win the game. That's what you do in the NFL. That's what he's doing right
Mhm.
here. He knows that he has an elite defense that can separate, that can win, that can score, that can have his back. And so if there's a risky play on third down and the risk reward is converting on this or throwing a pick or a turnover, he's going to dirt it and he's going to say, let's punt. And we're going to play great defense and we're going to win field position. There will be a time where we can strike. And that to me, not only shows, he's a great player, but he's a great leader and he's mentally very sharp and on top of understanding what this team can do. Now, I mentioned getting the ball out quick. There were some throws he made that I was just like, whoa, man, that's
Mm.
big boy football against this team, against the best defense in the world, statistically throughout the entire season. And he was dealing, getting it out quick, finding guys. And I want to give a lot of credit to Shannon Dawson too, KG, because
Mm.
I was a little critical that Texas A&M
Mhm.
game, deservedly so. I thought he called his best game of the year, maybe the best game of his career. I thought how creative he was, how in tune to what they wanted to do. He had answers all night,
Mhm.
and I don't think there was one trick play, which I love and I'm super happy about. But you could argue the wrinkles that he put in with,
Right.
the running back return route to Mark Fletcher that scored the touchdown. It's not a trick play, but it's a tricky play. It's
Correct.
a different play. The other third down conversion to seal the deal with Marty Brown coming out of the backfield. I mean
And
the fact that you're throwing it to him on
yes,
third is
that's what stood out
crazy.
to me, Mac. Like, you're using Malachi Tony as a blocker. That it's
Right.
not sorry, it's not tricky, but it is different. It's not what
Yes.
people would expect. So, yeah, I
Yes.
totally agree. That play stood
It's
out to me.
outside of your tendencies. It's
Yeah.
against everything you do, which is amazing. And the option routes from Tony, um, listen, he already is one of the best. He's going to be so good when he
He's only a
continues to get a
freshman.
feel for this college game and space, and he is so electric. I mean, there were 3 times they went to him on an option where for those listening, maybe, "What are you
Mhm.
talking about? What's an option route?" You basically release and you go where the defense isn't. You just find the hole. It can be a sit down, it can be a slant, it can be an over, it can be an out. You just find the hole, and it's unguardable when you're that good, and when you have the amount of talent and speed, and you have to be on the same page with your quarterback because
Right.
it's not a guess, but it's I see this, do you see this, we see this, balls out. Like
Mhm.
that's it is, kind of a thing where there's not a route built in. It's space, gets a space, and he did so good at that. Keelan Marion was awesome. There was a play early, KG, that I thought he should have caught the ball. It would have been a very difficult catch,
Mhm.
and he didn't. And I was like, "Uh-oh, like we're doing that all night. It's gonna be a long night. We have to be able to catch those type of passes and make those type of throws." And then just right back. He had 3 or 4 huge catches, contested catches, body catches, 4 third downs and keeping it going. You mentioned Carson Beck with his legs, the things that he
Yeah.
did. That third down to extend the drive on the last drive was sick. Running through guys, extending to get over that first down line there, I thought was exceptional. And then the offensive line and Mark Fletcher. I mean, I think Mark had 96 yards. I mean, but just bruising
Yeah.
runs, AG. I mean, putting his foot in the ground, hammering right into linebackers, hammering right into DBs. It was a thing of beauty. One more, sorry, that I just remembered of the that immaculate play calling. The tunnel screen on like
Mm.
3rd and 7 was nuts. Like that again, not a trick play, a tricky play, a crazy play. And Francis Maui Noah is running a 4-1 out in space, knocking out dudes,
Freak.
crack back receiver. I mean, it was really impressive stuff. Really impressive stuff.
We're gonna get to the defense, but all of that being said, absolutely. I thought, Ohio State comes back, right? Because 'Cause they're Ohio State. They're not gonna
Yeah.
fold. You're up 14 nothing, they come back.
And can
Um,
score from anywhere at any
yeah,
time, like,
they're Ohio
very
State.
explosive.
The final drive, 10 plays,
Yeah,
70 yards, 5 minutes.
crazy.
You can speak to this more from, like, how much you work on those types of things in practice and all that,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
that's gotta feel so good
Oh,
for the
yeah.
coaching staff, for the players, for the whole program. You think in your mind, "Okay, final drive, let's hold the ball, let's go score to advance to the semifinals." Like, you would think you would kinda play that scenario out all year, right? And to do it. That drive was dominant,
It
Mac. It was
was.
perfect. It was exactly what you needed to happen to win the game, to seal the deal. Of course, the pick eventually sealed the deal. But I just thought that drive was I mean, that was championship like, that was a championship drive. That's
It
something
was.
the best teams in the country does.
It really was, and the execution with it, I think, one part of it that really just, kinda blew me away, KG, was who was in on that drive and what were they doing, and what were they asked to do, and, you look at a guy like Marty Brown,
Yes.
who did not play essentially the whole game, wasn't crying on the sideline, wasn't pouting, wasn't "woe was me," was ready,
Mhm.
and Mark Fletcher needed a spell, he sprints in there and he doesn't look back and he dominates. And how good of a teammate to be ready for that moment, to be ready when your team needs you most. He stepped up and he delivered. And there were game changing plays, that happened in that were incredible. That I thought that he did really well. So it starts with a 19-yard run by Fletcher, just to run through this whole thing. Then a 4-yard run by Fletcher. And then the 3-yard run by Beck, and then he does some passes to Brown that I thought were electric. The blocking by the receivers, you mentioned this with Malachi, where it's the kind of a swing pass, if you will, or a delayed out. Malachi's coming in to essentially crack. That was exceptional. The screenplay, guys just doing their job and great play calls. I could not be more impressed with what I saw from this team as a whole, and guys just being selfless. And we talk about it all the time, and you want every program to do your job to the best of your ability. If you do what we ask you, Kelly, on this play, we're going to win. And okay, yeah. They do that though. They do that. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys block, they run, they tackle, they blitz, they stay gap sound. It's a really well coached football team. It's a very disciplined football team, and it's a very talented football team. And when all those things come together, you get special things,
Yeah.
magical.
And I think the extra part against Ohio State that showed up for Miami was the experience for a lot of these guys and
Mhm.
the veteran nature. Okay, let's hit the defense real quick before we get out of here and then kind of look ahead to see. Well, we're recording this on New Year's Day, so we'll see soon who Miami's playing.
That's right.
But that defense, Mac, I mean, the 5 sacks, we knew that Indiana was able to get after Sayin. We thought for sure that Miami would be able to get after Sayin, forcing the 2 turnovers. I mean, I think especially in a game like that, in a playoff game where the stakes are so high, a
Oh,
pick
yeah.
6 always changes things in a game, but especially when it happened right after Miami had scored, that pick 6 was just huge to be able to score points as a defense, but the defense showed up in a way that we thought they were going to, Mac.
They did. They did. And, I think the first third down that happened, listen, I was very confident that they could overwhelm that offensive line. It just you see it on paper. The Big Ten does not have anything like what Miami does on the defensive line specifically in regards to speed.
Well, honestly, who does, Mac? Because it's
Right.
the best
Right.
D-line in the country, yeah.
Maybe Texas Tech, when you see the things that they have. But um I just figured that was going to be an issue, and it was going to be something that was a bit of a problem. I did not think that it would be something where they had so much success so early. That first third down, they put Key Mesidor at 3 technique on the right side, which we knew that was the targeted side, and they get a quick sack. And I'm just like, oh, this is going to be such a long game for those boys. If they're doing the first time they do it, they hit home. And that was the trend of the game. And really, Miami should have had like 10 sacks. Julian Sayin did do a good
Yeah.
job of not just avoiding, but getting the ball out. He's getting drugged down, and somehow he gets
Right.
the ball out and is able to throw it away. But that dude was in a bad spot, and yet still he bounced back. Pushed the ball downfield. Was able to have some success late. But I thought Ruben Bain, Keem Mesidor, The safeties, my gosh, the safeties were hitting so hard. They were flying downhill, making all kinds of plays. Number 8, the safety transfer, is a freak. That guy is so fun to watch. Had the game sealing pick
Thomas, yeah.
that you brought up there. Yeah, Thomas. And then just guys, not being afraid on the outside. Now Jeremiah got his and did his thing, but I
But that's
thought
what
they were really good. They were very
let
physical.
Jeremiah get his, and
That's
then
fine.
see who else can beat you. That's kinda what happened.
That's right. But Keontae Scott, before we get out of here, because I
Yes,
know we're going to
yes.
wrap up quickly. He is such a special player, and like the things that he can do, tackling in space, getting his hands on the football, housing it, the play recognition. It was. I don't want to say this in a weird way or sound weird, but when they motioned to that, all of us on the sideline were like, "Scream, here it comes!" And for
Mm.
him to trigger the way that he did and take that ball away in the air to go 80 yards to the house, that's why you study the way you do, to have that play recognition, to take those risks. Because guess what? If they would have ran a fake, which we had in our offense built in, we called it, special or something, that's a touchdown. The way that
Yeah.
he pursued that, he knew a screen was coming. And I love that, man. It just shows guys dialed in. Keem Mesidor, Ruben Bain, all those cats up front. They played exceptionally well. And that's the MO. I mean, this is the best defense in the playoff. It's the best team left for sure. That's how you win championships, with your defense doing this effort. And I thought that Coach Heatherman called a great game. I thought the guys executed super well. And you got 2 more games to be legendary.
That's a great way to put it, Mac. And we'll find out today if they're playing Ole Miss or Georgia. That game, the next game, the Fiesta Bowl, will be January 8th,
That'll be a
Thursday.
fun little game for Carson Beck, do you think?
There could be some storylines, maybe to check out, to look at. We'll see. Can't wait for that. I know Mac will be continuing his trek all around the country, following Miami, wherever they're going.
I think I
So we're
should just be
excited
on the
about
team plane at this point,
I mean,
I just travel
Mario
with
might invite you if you ask. We'll see. We'll see,
doesn't
Mac.
hurt
But
to
yeah,
ask.
we continue. We got more coming at you.
We
Once
will.
we know who Miami's playing, we'll get more into that game and preview the
That's right.
semifinals.
We might have my little bulldog friend come over. If we might get him to talk about these.
Oh, interesting.
That
Your
could be a
little
fun,
bulldog
that could
friend.
be a little
What a nice way to put
fun
that, Mac.
alternate metaverse or something. We'll figure it out. We'll see. We'll see if they can close the door. These Canes are for real. We've been telling you all year. They are so fun to watch. They're built, for this type of run. We appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the Canes fans. I had so many people
Oh, I
come
bet.
up to me, KG, that they just love our show. They watch us all the time. Canes, we love you. We really appreciate your support. We're going to keep rolling with you. We'll be doing this, bringing all that type of coverage. So thank you guys. If you're still here and you don't already, subscribe, jump in here, jump in the comments. Tell us what you thought of the game. Were you shocked? Did you listen to us and maybe weren't as shocked? We'll see. But we got more stuff coming, as KG said. A lot of great games ahead today, if you're watching this morning. And it's going to be a ton of fun. The show's going to keep going. So until next time, we'll see y'all.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.